Hi, this is Mr. Capert. In this video, I'm going to show you how to model the axle pulley. This is the one that'll go up against the wheel and will cause the wheel to move. This is not the one on the motor. So File, New, and then make sure you go Part. Once this opens, start a 2D sketch. I choose the XY plane. Doesn't matter. And then what I'm going to do is make a circle. And once again, I'm going to use numbers that are kind of too big. So make sure you're using yours. Make sure you put millimeters this first time, unless you're using inches. If you're using inches, you didn't need to do that at all. And just like always, if you're using inches, you don't have to do what I'm doing right now. So if you're using millimeters or centimeters, you want to change that here. I'm using millimeters. There's centimeters if that's what you want to do. Up to you. Hit OK. So make sure that number is the same as your sketch. Now, the hole at the center though, this will be the same for everybody. Don't mess with this. 2.29 millimeters. Once again, if you're using inches, what you need to do is do a conversion, or what you can do is put mm in this case. And it'll convert you if you're using inches. All right, so this is just going to be one side of it. I'm going to finish this sketch, and I'm going to hit extrude. Let's extrude this by 2 millimeters. I think that gives us a pretty good thickness where this isn't going to break off on us. Hit OK. Next, I'm going to model the center of this. To make the center part here, where the band will ride upon, let's do a sketch on the surface. Let's make a circle first that is the same size as this, so that 2.29 millimeters. Once again, you're using inches, you're going to have to do this a little differently. Make a circle that just goes out. We're going to change that in a moment. You're going to dimension between these two, and hopefully I don't confuse you with mixed units here. When I originally did this project, I did it in inches, so I know exactly what size will work in inches, and not, it's clear with millimeters. We could use a conversion, but 0.15 inches. So as long as you put that in, the computer knows what you're doing. If you're already using inches, then you wouldn't need to do something like that. All right, let's finish the sketch. Let's 3D model it and do an extrusion. The band, I found that 0.15 inches works best. Okay, so now we got one side. We've got to do the outside here so that the band doesn't fall off. Right now the band would just fall right off of this. So we're going to do a 2D sketch right on the surface here. Again, with the circle, we need to zoom in and make a 2.29. You then want to do another circle. You may have to hit the tool again. For me, I didn't have to. And then snap to the other side. Now notice it did snap to 50 and was good, but proper form would be to actually dimension this the same. So I got that center hole, I've got the outer circle here. I'm going to finish this up and do an extrude and choose this outer surface here. And then like before, I like the number 2 millimeters. All right, last thing we need to do is put our team number on here. So to do that, you're going to do one last sketch on the surface, hit the text tool. Team number, I like the number 4, like I said before. Let's see, just play around with this number. You can bold it, You can use different fonts. If you drop that down, just make sure it's always highlighted, otherwise it won't change. Now this is huge. Now you can click and drag on this. All right, pretty large. What I could do here, and I highly recommend this, is you need to cut this. If you don't cut this, it could end up hitting your car as it goes around, or you could have a big gap between the wheel and this because you could glue this up against the wheel. So hit Finish Sketch, Extrude, choose the 4, and like I said, I would definitely do a cut. I would not go all the way through this though. I'd make it shallow, like 1 millimeter. Hit OK, and notice now it's indented. You got your team number. This actually makes it lighter weight too, which is nice. I like when people color this in. I think it's more fun. So use the color wheel here. Choose a color that you like. Hit the check mark. And then I'd appreciate it if you colored in the 4 so it's really obvious to me when I check this. So just choose this surface and then click and drag this down until you've got black. The last step always is to save it. So File, Save. Make sure you give it the name like I've been talking about, team number. You have a different number, and we're going to call this the axle pulley. This is going up against your wheel. Hit save. Make sure it's in your H drive. Let me know if you have any additional questions.